Hello, and welcome to Rides from the Past.
During the 1980s and 1990s, the UK funfair scene was inundated with novelty rides. This series is a basic look back at some of the more unusual rides the UK has seen. We are now at the final episode of this series down memory lane. If you have missed the previous episodes, they are all available via a playlist. For the final episode, we will look at one of the first top scans to roll out of the Mondial Rides production line. In the new year of 1998, Elliot Hall took delivery of a top bus. His first build-up was in the Selsdon yard alongside the M1 motorway. The first operation for the local showman created such a stir, it created traffic jams on the motorway. The announcement of the top bus was public in a ground wanted advert placed in the World's Fair newspaper towards the end of 1997. There was already a buzz, if you pardon the expression, around the autumn events that this machine was on order and to make its debut early the following year. The debut of the top bus was at Leeds Valentine's Fair in February 1998. Its appearance grabbed the headlines for the amusement industry, with many fairground and theme park enthusiasts alike flocking to Leeds to witness its first appearance, including yours truly. The ride attended many of the early season fairs, including Grantham Midland Fair and Kirkcaldy Links Market. The next time I caught up with the machine was on my first ever visit to Knutsford May Fair, where it occupied the prominent position formerly used by fairground lessee John Collins himself for the Walser. It was to make further appearances in the area at the Wirral Show and St Helens Show after its expected debut at Newcastle. I was fortunate enough to find the top bus open 3 times during August 1998. Firstly, on its Welsh debut at Cardiff Bee Weekend, occupying one of the floating positions near the City Hall. From Cardiff, Elliot made the journey southwest to Plymouth for the city's fireworks championships on the Hoe. At the time, it would stay on the following weekend for the Free Music Festival. The machine was then to make the long journey from one port city to another, opening on Southsea Common for the August Bank Holiday, with the city of Portsmouth holding the festival by the sea nearby at the docks. The fair was larger than usual, hoping to cash in on the extra crowds that year for this one-off event. I borrowed my father's old camcorder to capture the ride in action. The Top Bus began its 1998 back-end run opening at Oxford St Giles, standing on Bob Wilson's Funfairs position, replacing the firm's Enterprise. The machine made its expected debut at Nottingham Goose Fair on a position Elliot bought from Pat Collins. With no clash of dates, it opened at Hull, standing on a prominent corner position near Scotch Corner for the full duration, followed by Ilkeston. In 1999, the Top Bus opened for the spring at Global Village, Dubai, returning in time for Newcastle. It wasn't until Bridgewater when I would see the machine next, occupying a position which Elliot had bought. The fair was blighted by bad weather, resulting in the ground becoming a mud bath in places. The Top Scan returned to Nottingham Goose Fair despite falling on its latest dates, moving on to Hull for the second week, with John Mannor's inverter keeping the position warm for the first weekend. It made its debut at Loughborough in November, however surprisingly didn't open for the Millennium celebrations. For the Millennium year 2000, the ride opened at Global Village Dubai again for the early part of the year, returning in May to open at Coventry Croc Fair, which is seen in my photo. One of the highlight debuts for the Top Bus in 2000 was at the Great Dorset Steam Fair. One of the photos taken the Wednesday night is the background image for the Fair-Pix website. 3 days later, I captured these two photos of the machine from C&G Attractions' Giant Wheel. Towards the end of the year, Elliot took the Top Bus to the Millennium Dome to open at the Ministry of Sound New Year's Eve party. The machine spent the first part of 2001 again in the UAE, returning in time for Newcastle Town Moor. I went to Hopping for the first time since 1995 and captured these photos. The final two I have never published before. The machine had been fitted with more lighting and looked quite mind-blowing. In July, the Top Bus made its mainland European debut, opening at Tilburg Kermis in Holland. The Top Bus attended more music festivals such as Creamfields in Liverpool over the August Bank Holiday weekend. The ride returned to Loughborough Fair in November, lighting up Ashby Square after darkest scene. After Loughborough, Elliot opened the machine in Bristol city centre for the Christmas period, close to the Harbourside area with Davy Rowland. After returning to the Millennium Dome for the new year, the machine left the UK to open at the 2002 World Carnival in Hong Kong, organised by fellow showman Billy Stevens. It was never to return. Elliot replaced it with a similar machine renamed Top Bus 2. The original machine, meanwhile, was eventually sold to Billy Stevens when Elliot's interest turned to presenting observation wheels worldwide. Subsequently, the Top Bus was acquired locally by 3G Entertainments in Dubai, who toured it for many years. I found this video of the Top Bus open in the ownership of 3G Entertainments. Following many years in the Middle East, the Top Bus has now become one of the new thrill rides from the Grupo Garcia organisation in Mexico. You can find the full clip on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed the videos I created for your enjoyment. I would like to thank everyone for their feedback and support during the last few weeks. Unfortunately, I have decided to call time for arranging historical articles under this format. A replacement is in the pipeline, so I'd recommend you to subscribe to Fair-Pix videos for future uploads. As for Rides from the Past, it is goodbye until next time.
Top one, nice one, get sorted.